Welcome back to Spotlight, and I'm enjoying this. I'm Edjuenka, and I'm sorry if you just joined. Only good thing about that is we have jtvlive.net, and with jtvlive.net, you can go and replay this evening Spotlight, and you can get the full discussion, or you can pick up where you missed. So JTV's got it going on. Don't care how you look at it, right? So welcome back. This time we're going to be talking about raising the school leaving age. No longer are your children going to be leaving school at 14, 15, and 16, but at 18. Do you think that that's a good thing? Do you think that we should continue the way things are, or should we keep our children in school longer? I have with me Ms. Raina Foy.
Good night.
Yes, Ms. Raina Foy, you think that we should not raise the school age to 18, we should keep things as it is, yes?
Yes, I do.
Good. And of course, we have, and I'm skipping Shelika for a reason, we have Miss Stacey Ann Cole down here at the end. She thinks that the school age should be raised to 18 years of age.
Yes, I do.
And Miss Shelika Foy in the middle, she has a solution to the whole thing. You know exactly what needs to be done. Somewhat. So Miss Stacey Ann Cole, why we have a system, children going to primary school, they come to the 5th grade, they sit at primary 5, they go from there right into first form, and by 15, 16, if they study their lessons well, they're in college, and by 18, they either go into more advanced degrees, or they going into the workforce, and we just turn out educated children, like machinery. Why you want to have children in school longer than perhaps they even want to be?
Well, for one reason, when we are at age 16 and 17, we think we know what we want, and we think we know what is right for us, and that is normally when we are out in the world, and a couple years later, that is tons and tons of mistakes later, when we realize that whatever our teachers or our parents were telling us, that we should further our education, that is when we realize that what they were telling us was actually true. Now, when we give them the choice to further their education, they normally make bad choices, because children are normally so eager, itching to leave high school, and then they leave and end up rubbing with the wrong crowd. Most of them, majority, rubbing with the wrong crowd, committing to illegal acts, becoming pregnant, and all of that. So by keeping them in schools, we could give them advice. We could give them advice on their vocation, or what they want to do for their vocation. The skill training is one of the things that will be implemented, and with our children, not all our children will be book lovers. There would be some of us don't like bookworks. Number one, not all of us are going to be doctors, lawyers, politicians. We need masons. We need engineers, we need construction workers. So with the training implemented into high school, I think this will aid in the betterment of our society, employment wise. This will reduce the unemployment rate.
Okay, so they're too immature. They won't be sure about their career path, make too many mistakes, and you can give them additional vocational training to give them a trade so that they they'll be better prepared for the society.
Yeah, they'll be full-fledged.
Okay. And Ms. Raina Foy, you don't like that idea at all.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Yes.
Why?
I disagree with her. Yes, at the end of the day, your parents want the best for you, but however, as she stated previously, they are 16 and they feel that they know what they want and what's best for them. But here you have it that they are 18, now on the brink of adulthood. You can't intimidate them and bully them and tell them what to do.
So at 18 they'll be adults,
Yes.
and you won't be able to guide them anymore.
No.
Okay, so they'll be too old to really mold them in what into what they want to be. I see. That's it.
So I feel too that instead of waiting until they're 18, you should bridge the gap between the primary school and the high school level. Implement like a junior high. Instead of like having them like you stopping them at 18, it's like I reached this far and now you're stopping me. So have it flowing.
I'm not understanding that. You say you're against them going from 5th grade into first form.
Yes.
And you want them.
Actually, no.
Well, you want to change your mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm basically saying that instead of keeping them at age 18, like you reach this far and now you're stopping me. Instead of holding them back, let them come out at 16, but you will have like a form between class 5 and first form.
So you're not raising to 18, but you're not letting them go from primary 5
straight into high school.
Straight into high school.
Yes.
So you'll be raising the age, but not the 18, perhaps the 16 or 17.
It will remain 16 or 17.
Okay, I'm hearing you. You got your hand going up and down. What's the problem? What's the problem here? We got a problem between these two people.
I just wanted to correct Rena when she said at 18 you become an adult. We're under British territory, and as far as I'm concerned, you turn 18 when you turn an adult when you reach 21 under the British system. That's as far as I'm concerned. And when she's saying that we should add an extra year in the junior section instead of the senior section, it's basically the same thing. You're going to come out at 18 or 17, 18 because you're still adding that extra year.
No.
Okay. So what do you think should happen? You the solution.
I'm on the fence here, but I would say they should add, instead of putting the extra year at the end of 16, they should put it in the junior section where you divide the school, where you have a junior high and a senior high. So the junior highs, the little babies that are coming from primary school wouldn't mix with the mature 18, 16, 17-year-olds who have, reached that whole level of teenage, experienced all the do's and the don'ts. You have these fresh babies coming out and they don't know what to expect. So instead of having them associating with children who are not of their age group, you should divide it into a junior high and a senior high.
You sound like you agreeing to raise the age.
I am.
You think that's
yes, it needs. I think it needs to be done.
Okay, Ms. Coleman. Ms. Cole. How are you going to raise the age? What are the children going to do with the extra time?
With the extra two
years? You didn't tell. You said that they'll be more mature when they come out. You said that they would perhaps have a better handle on a career path, and you said that you could give them additional training, vocational training. You can teach them a trade. So what you didn't say, what the extra time, the extra 2 years or 3 years, sometimes 4 years, depends on how bright the student is. What would you be what would they be doing with that extra time until they're 18 in high school? How would that work? How would that system work?
What they're doing right now, when you leave high school, you go to the HLSCC and you do A-levels. So this extra 2 years, you will be graduating with A-levels by the time you are supposed to leave high school. So you'll learn in A-levels. If you don't want to do bookwork, you will do trade. You will learn whatever trade, mechanic, welding, TD, anyone you want. So you'll be leaving with A levels.
Okay, so you would have a sixth form.
A sixth form.
You would have a sixth form as well as a vocational institute where
Training.
you could at that particular stage in your development either go the academic route with the A levels, or go the vocational route with an electrician, a plumber, a computer technician,
any trade.
Any trade.
Yeah.
That's how you would handle that. That's how you would handle that situation. Oh, the phone's on. I got a text already. I'll get to that. Okay. Miss Cole would add the extra year at the end of the school term. And that means that you would still be going from primary 5 to first form, but you would have an additional form or 2 at the end.
Yeah, because in Jamaica, when I was going to high school, they have 6 forms, but you get to choose. You can either graduate or you continue on to the 6th form. And when you leave with A levels and then you apply for university right as you leave.
So Miss Cole now is hiding the unemployment rate, therefore keeping them in school. She's basically forcing them, because in Jamaica they have a choice, but here now she's basically saying they don't have a choice.
Okay, can you repeat that? I'm not sure I understand what your response to that is.
Miss Cole said that in Jamaica they have a choice whether they want to stay in school or go off to college, but here now she's hiding the unemployment rate because she's basically forcing them to stay in school until 18.
She's doing what to the unemployment rate?
Hiding it. Hiding
the unemployment rate?
Yes.
What that means? I don't understand. How when you say she's hiding the unemployment rate?
Because in some cases where you come out of school, you're looking for employment, people turn and tell you, well, a lot of responses you get is that you're not mature or you're not qualified or whatever. So now she's keeping you in school in turn that if you get turned down from this job, you wouldn't be at home. So instead of being at home, you're basically in school.
Okay, but she's not saying that you would be out into the workforce. She's saying that you would be in school, yes, but you won't be seeking employment. So I don't understand how that would be impacting the employment rate, unemployment or employment rate. If you're in school, then it seems to stand to reason that you would not be impacting the employment rate. You wouldn't be looking for a job because you would be in school. Whereas if you come out at 16, you would be in fact impacting the employment rate because you would be looking for a job. And at that age, as you say, if you don't, the employers start saying you're not mature enough, you don't have enough skills, then you run yourself into trouble. So, I mean, I'm not sure. It sounds like you're making a contradiction there. Perhaps you want to clarify that. You want to clear that up? Revisit that point.
I'm basically saying that she wants them to stay in school until 18. She's forcing them to stay in school until 18. But what if you don't want to stay in school at 18? You will in turn, if you don't want to go to college, you will go and look work. But in turn now, the employers are telling you you're not qualified, you don't have the skills, whatever. You're back home. So more children will be home if, for instance, all 3 of us decide we don't want to stay in school until we're 18 and the employers turn us down. 3 of us are home, so that's more people unemployed at home.
Is there a choice as to whether, will there be a choice as to whether you would be able to stay in school, you would leave school at 16 or leave school at 18?
No, it's not a choice. And as for the unemployment rate, this would aid in the unemployment rate. This will help in decreasing the unemployment rate. Our children graduating from school with A levels or a trade, we'll have a stronger workforce in the future. Now we're leaving at 16. Who's going to hire a 16-year-old? What can you do? You don't know what you want?
Less persons looking for work, less jobs have to be produced by increasing the age. This is what Ms. Cole is saying. What you say to that?
Like I said, she's basically hiding the unemployment rate.
Okay, what you think about this, Ms. Shelika Fai? This feeling that somehow by allowing children to stay in school, you having a negative impact on the unemployment rate?
But I don't think it would have a negative impact because the UK, as of right now, is considering raising the school leaving age to 18 to combat the unemployment rate that is rapidly increasing. So, in my opinion, if we're under British territory, we wouldn't have a choice but to raise the school leaving age as well, and therefore it wouldn't affect the unemployment rate, because we here in the British Virgin Islands, we have an unemployment rate issue where the children who are coming out at 16, they're not qualified enough to get a decent paying job or even get a job at all because they're underqualified. And the Honorable Myron Walwyn, the Minister of Education and Culture, he had an unemployment program, and the ages range between 16 to 24. So even if I came out of school at 16, 18, and the possibility of me being unqualified, I still do not have a job at the age of 24. So I think raising the school leaving age to 18 would in fact benefit the unemployment rate, because you would have less children on the street, less children at home, basically sitting down doing nothing because they decide not to go to the community college that we offer here, and they're just a hazard to the community.
A hazard to the community?
Well, not wrong choice of words. Sorry.
Yeah. But it'll be a burden.
Yes.
But isn't it true though? And I think what Ms. Rena Foy is trying to say is that at 16, getting out of school at 16, you have a earlier start in life. You know,
exactly.
you have an opportunity to come out, and it's very unlikely, particularly with the statistics as it is now in a territory where students are coming more and more leaving, graduating from high school and going directly to college, because more and more students are realizing that a high school diploma is basically not enough. Mm-hmm. And so they're going directly to HLSCC. HLSCC is getting quite a reputation as being a good institution. And they've just gotten glowing remarks from the accreditation process in terms of applying for accreditation. So this school is making its mark. Students are going more and more going to it. You got free tuition from the government for BV Islanders. Isn't that in view, and this is for you too as well, Ms. School, isn't it helping the students to get an earlier start and develop a greater sense of maturity by being able to go to college at an earlier age?
Yes, it does, but like Stacey Ann said, it's their choice to go to the community college. So say for example, 183 children graduated from the Elmo South High School, and only 83 decided to go to the community college.
Is it a statistic? Is it a factual?
No, this is an example.
This is not a factual statistic?
No, it's an example.
Okay. Why not say 120 decide to go to Elmo South High School?
Sorry.
All right, make your point. I don't want to throw you out before you make your point.
Yeah. So what would happen to the rest 100 who decided not to go to the community college? They decided to, well, help their parents, I do agree that it has its pros and cons, as we can see, because say for example, some parents who have a family business might need their child to help need that extra hands to help in the business, and by keeping the children an extra year, 2 years, can be a detrimental. Can have a detrimental impact on the family business because they have to stay in school. But in Tortola, in the British Virgin Islands, how many family business are there that needs hands-on members?
And why would you deprive your child of better education just to help you with your business? But
what about the earlier start? What about, you're not depriving your child. If the child is not coming out, and forgive me, Miss Angelica, But more and more people are going to college. The college is free. Well, it's not free. The tuition is being provided by the people of the territory for BVI landlords. So more and more BVI landlords and students are going to the college. So it's not like they coming out of school at 16 and they falling by the wayside. They ain't doing nothing. They are born under society. They graduating and they're going to college, and they graduating from college with an associate degree at 18.
Exactly.
Whereas they would
You
be
would
just
have
be
them
going
in school still.
You'll still be having them in school at 18, and they're gonna graduate with a bachelor's degree at 20. I mean, they get in, and they'll be, by the time they are 30, they'll have their own house, they have their own car, they have their own families. They kick it. What's your response to that?
But what I'm saying, you are already why leave high school and then go to the HLSCC to get A-levels education when you can just get that in high school, just in one, from 11th grade to the 12th grade. That's a sixth form. You'll be leaving high school with A-levels, so you will just be you're leaving it, you get associate degrees, and then you go on for your other degree.
But you have to realize, as you just said too, while you're in college, 18, getting your associate's degree, ready to go on to your bachelor's or whatever, you still having them in school, so it's like a kickback.
Not necessarily.
But you're learning the same thing.
No, you're not learning the same thing. It's for the education system to enhance what they're teaching. It's not like you're repeating the same stuff that you learn in fifth form. It's a whole new process. You know, if I decide to study law, but my best friend wants to study plumbing, and the college doesn't have a course for plumbing, then I could stay in high school, do the vocational course that will be offered eventually if they go on with this motion. And you know, for example, I know most males who would rather fix cars and do plumbing and electricity and stuff like that. And you know, having that hands-on job will make them appreciate more what they want to do instead of keeping them in books. You know, because not everybody is book oriented.
What will be happening in those 2 years is what we're learning now at HLSCC. So you're leaving high school with A-levels, that is a degree, associate's degree.
Okay, when we're gonna come back, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we have some time for we have about 10 minutes for callers to call and weigh in on this discussion. Should we increase the age to 18? Should we allow the situation to continue where our children are coming out of school earlier? And if we are going to increase the age to 18, should we have the increased age with a sixth form or seventh form or vocational training at the end of the school life, or should we have it as Miss Renee Foy seems to think in a middle school, a junior high school between primary 5 and first form? Keep it locked right here at the Spotlight. We'll be right back.
Spotlight is brought to you by Bolo's High Tech Printery, Virgin Island Motors, and Clarence Thomas Limited.
Welcome back to Spotlight. We're in the final few minutes of the exam, the television exam. It's quite interesting. We've had, and we're coming to the end of the discussion.
I have a question, Mr. Smith.
You're gonna get asked a question in a minute. But you're not asking me, right? Okay. Yes, we had discussion on 3 issues. This is the final issue, raising the age of the high school children to 18, the graduation to 18. We talked about a national lottery, and we spoke about having education vouchers for families who want to send their children to private schools. we got some time for you to call if you want to weigh in on this discussion. Should the children be allowed to continue until 18? Should that extra time be spent at the end of your school life, your high school life? Or should it be in the middle where you have a junior high school from between primary 5 and first form, which of course would be 5th grade and 9th grade in American parlance, right? So those are some of the issues. You can call us, the number is on the screen, and then you can text us. I have quite a few texts. I'm going to see if I can get to those. But Miss Renee Foy, you wanted to ask Miss Ashelica, Miss Cole a question? Miss Cole a question, yes.
Yes, she's proposing that they raise the school leaving age, but has the proposal been, like, are you sure that the government can fund the proposal?
Am I sure? Yes.
How?
Where is funding going to come from to keep the students additional?
The teachers.
Right, the additional cost of increasing the school age.
Well, what we could do is look at this as an investment. As I stated before, this will help in the reduction of unemployment rate.
Your spotlight, hold on, please.
So more people will be employed, and if more people being employed, there will be more income of taxes, which will help us financial wise.
Okay. Thank you for calling Spotlight. Right ahead, please.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, you see them two ladies close beside. I see them ladies some positive people. You see what I'm going on now with the raising the bar, to be with them in the school more, to have more premature people on the street. You see, and everybody will go to get like college degree and things. So the youth them will go to school at 16 and them now get no college degree. You'll find them on the street there. So if we keep them in the school, they actually get time to mulch them into learning them something, you know, so the positive vibe. Just see right now, big people and children. So just listen to them big people, please.
All right, thank you very much for calling, my brother. Okay, let me see if I could get some of the texts in here. Let's see. Okay, that's not 1, 6. I'm trying to see. Okay, here we go. What? Not a phone call. Hold on for a minute, please. What would you do? What would you add to current curriculum? Turn your television down for me, please, and just hold on for 1 minute. What would you do? What would you add to current curriculum in this added grade before high school? What would you put? Okay. We're gonna take a look at that question after this call. Thank you very much for calling Spotlight. Go ahead, please.
Look, just to make my call short,
yes,
I'd just like to say I support Miss Cole. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. He supports raising the age.
Can I answer the question that?
Yes. What would happen to the curriculum? What would you do? What would you add?
Well, in first form.
Hold, please. You're on Spotlight.
First form is from my experience, first form is basically a review of what you did in class 5 in primary school. Mm-hmm. So instead of just doing a review of what we learned in primary 5, you could start fresh and start at some algebra, some maybe a little computer study. Have them start brand new.
Have a increase in subject matter, yes. Different subject matter, yes. And you're going more towards a higher level of learning in what would probably be a 6th grade or 7th grade and or 8th grade. Mm-hmm. That's the point you're making. Right, let me take the call. Thank you very much for calling Spotlight. Go ahead, please.
Good night. I have a comment from Miss Cole.
Yes.
She was saying earlier how the students, it's better for them to go to 6th form or stay until 18 because of the acts that they commit or what they do after getting pregnant and doing this or doing that. But I don't agree, especially saying 6th form, because it's a good idea to go to 6th form and skills before they go to college, because we have some college students in classes and don't know what they're doing. So it's better to just go and 6th form, it's wrong to say that all of them will be pregnant or do this or do that. You don't know what they learn or this.
Okay, thank you very much for that call. Did you get that?
I think she misheard me. I didn't say all of them will get pregnant. I said those are the possibilities.
Okay. Let me see. I think we coming close to the turning of the clock. Can you see the benefit of having a credential such as A level as opposed to a high school certificate? Statistically, unemployment rates are lower among college-educated individuals. What are the method of earning revenue? Okay. I'm not sure I understand that question. Can you see the benefit of having A level? What is the benefit of having an A level credential as opposed to going to the college and starting on your way towards getting a associate degree?
Well, you're better educated and you're better prepared for whatever topics and subjects there you're going to be learning. I am a student at HLSCC, and I must say there is a lot of children that can hardly read. I can say that misuse words and don't pronunciate words good. So if they stay in school and work on these things, they will be prepared for the what you would say,
the college education.
The college education.
So keeping them in high school longer would make it prepare them better for going for the college education.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any views on that, Miss Fine? No. Okay. We following at turning the clock. So I'm going to give each of you a minute. To say why you think you should restate your point about raising the age.
Mm-hmm.
You restate your point about not raising the age, and you state your solution to this whole mess that these two have created here tonight. Okay.
Well, I am 100% for the school leaving age being raised to 18. One of the obvious reasons is how our children will benefit from this education-wise, and looking beyond that in the future, this will aid in many of our problems like the crime rate. Keeping our children off the street and in school, this will reduce crime rate. Unemployment rate will be decreased because we'll have a stronger workforce in the future, and just help better the society overall. Advising and training our children, our young people, to become better and decent citizens. This will help. They won't see the prudence in this as yet, in this movement as yet, and they will be rather rebellious towards it. But if they give it a few years, 2 to 3 years, and this their attitude will change to gratitude rather than rebellion.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Rena Fai.
Well, I would just like to say that I am not rebellious against it. I do agree that more education equals more opportunities. So therefore, if the school leaving age was proposed as a means of improving the education aspirations and at the same time funded appropriately, I will fully endorse it. Like also, as I said, in terms of the technology, teachers, books, facility, if it's funded appropriately, I will fully endorse it.
All right. Thank you very much. And your view there, Ms. Ashelika, on this whole thing, and what do you think the solution ought to be?
There are multiple solutions that can be done, such as our engagement with businesses and apprenticeships programs for the vocational course that can be implemented. Student education vouchers that was previously...
you support vouchers? Never mind, go ahead.
Advice and guidance for the students to help them choose the right career path for them. A support network where you can encourage the students to, education is the key to success, and everybody needs motivation. So a support network would be very good. Encouraging national lotteries, that could be very beneficial as well to raising funds for this motion. Looking at other government departments that to find ways to increase revenue, to bring revenue in, such as raising the duty tax on bringing in cigarettes and alcohol, for example, or raising the license fee for opening bars. Those two could bring in a good amount of revenue, in my opinion. It's just my opinion.
To have education.
Just to and.
You ran out of time.
Oh, sorry. Curriculum and qualifications.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Thank you very much, and of course, I want to thank you, Ms. Stacey Ann Cole, and you, Ms. Ashelika Foy, and Ms. Renee Foy. Thank you very much for being on Spotlight and for defending your positions and providing solutions on the idea of whether to raise the school leaving age to 18 or not. And of course, thank you for your participation. I also want to thank the other students, the ones that talk about the vouchers, Ms. Lamisha Gums, Mr. Eman Tarabi, Ms. Christina Kissoon, and Ms. Brianna Robles. Also thank Mr. Addie Jabray, Ms. Shanice Letzum, Mr. Shane Lionbird, and Mr. Nathan Hodge for discussing the national lottery in the Virgin Islands. Quite some interesting discussions. This has been a real exam. We also have to thank our judges, Ms. Tamara Archibald-Gill, Ms. Sauda Smith, and lecturer Zoe Walcott McMillan for really coming up with this novel idea. This is Ms. Walcott McMillan's idea. This novel idea to have an exam televised and to see how the young people do it. Yes, critical thinking. They do in terms of their critical thinking skills, their cognitive thinking skills, their ability to express themselves and to express themselves well in a hostile environment. Not a hostile environment, but sort of on the spot. So it's quite an interesting way to do an assessment. And of course, I enjoyed it thoroughly because, of course, it happened here on Spotlight, and it certainly is an interesting program format that we have devised here this evening, and I'm hoping to do it again in the future. So, and of course, I want to thank all those callers for calling and the type of persons that send us texts and help to foster the discussion with the young people. Next Tuesday, the Spotlight will be on the burial process. We're going to have guests from the Ministry of Health and Social Development to talk about things like how to procure a burial plot and all the paperwork that you have to file and the certificates you have to get and so on. You know, we all are going to die, and and we need to be prepared not just for going to heaven but to go to the grave. So just stop. This is not funny. I have the judges here in the background just making me laugh. But we're gonna have that discussion. It's a very important discussion. In all seriousness, it's a very important discussion. We're gonna have it next week with members of the Ministry of Health and Social Development. So make sure you keep it right here on Spotlight. Spotlight, of course, is on channel 55 and jtvlive.net, and you can see Spotlight again Sunday afternoons at 2:30 p.m. along with 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. And of course, you can go to jtvlive.net anytime and see what spotlights you have missed and what part of Spotlight you need to catch up with. And you also comment. You could make a, hit me up on Spotlight, make a comment or suggestion, give me a topic. I need some new topics to make things interesting. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your words of encouragement. Email us at jtvspotlightlive@.com. I'm Edjuenka, reminding you that when the spotlight is on, you'll see the facts. Peace and blessings.
Spotlight is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Tortola Concrete Limited, Gilbert's Painting Contractors, and CCT Global Communications.